As I look down at my carefully prepared ad-libs, I see there is one gentleman from whom we have not heard and should speak, and of course that would be the multi-talented and president of the Dodgers, Stan Kasten.
Thank you, Vin. I can't tell you what a privilege and pleasure it is to be here today. And I get to talk about some of the beginnings of the run-up to the game and some of the changes that are going to be made right here at Dodger Stadium. You've heard me many times talk about Dodger Stadium. As a design, it was a work of genius when it was created, and it remains that way today. You've also often heard me say that there has never been a place like this. It is the most beautiful place ever built to play or watch the game of baseball. And when we got here in 2012, and in the winter leading up to 2013, we spent a lot of time, money, and effort, led by the leadership of Janet Marie Smith, who is here today, to upgrade what had been a 50-year-old stadium then. And so we added new plumbing, wiring, widened the concourses, new concessions, restrooms, Wi-Fi, scoreboards. We did all of those things to bring the stadium into the 21st century. And we thought that next year would be a perfect time to do our next round of renovations. So we're going to do a whole lot of things, and I'm going to make 3 quick points before we go to the videotape. The first thing are the structural changes that we're going to be making to the stadium for next year. Next year, for the first time, we are going to have these pavilions connected to each other. They're going to be connected to the stadium, and for the first time, you're going to be able to walk around the stadium, inside the stadium, and enter the ballpark from any of our 9 entrances and get to your seat. Another thing we're going to do structurally is when you get to the end of pavilions, you'll see we are building 2 towers of elevators, and beyond them, escalators. So for the first time in Dodger Stadium, you'll be able to do that much more easily than you ever have before. So those are some of the structural things. Entertainment-wise, right behind you, we are going to start building as soon as the season is over, sometime in November. We're going to be building a 2-acre entertainment plaza. This plaza will have a new front door for our stadium because we don't really have one now. And we're going to have a lot of new food offerings, a beer garden for craft beers. We're going to have history displays woven all throughout. We're going to have a kids field right behind this outfield wall. We're going to have a midway of games, interactive exhibits, both high-tech and low-tech, social media, etc. 2 separate sports bars with views into the bullpens. And the last thing I want you all to know, and this was really important to me and really important to Janet, when you describe stadiums, unlike basketball, hockey, football arenas, when you describe stadiums, you think of the vista between foul pole to foul pole. Think of Wrigley Field, Fenway, Yankee Stadium. That's what you think of. And we are fortunate enough to have the very best view of all. That view of those bleachers, those palm trees, those San Gabriel Mountains, that is iconic, timeless, and unmatched anywhere in the world in sports. And I'm very proud to tell you we're going to do all of the things I described without changing that look at all. That's going to stay here, and it's something we're really proud of. But I know you've heard a lot of words, but I think it's time for you to see some images. And we're going to go to the videotape now.
It's time for Dodger Baseball.
Dodger Stadium, carved into the hillside of Chavez Ravine, has long relied upon 9 entrances on 4 different levels, but no front door to welcome all fans. This means many fans walk the circumference of a 500-foot circle, hiking up 100 feet from the parking lots on the north to their reserve and top deck seats, though benefiting from the fabulous downtown and Elysian Park views on the walk. In recent years, the Dodgers have expanded Dodger Stadium with plazas at each entry to give fans more room for milling around, more concession stands and restrooms and team stores. In 2020, The final outdoor concourse in center field will connect these plazas, giving fans a 360-degree access around the park's perimeter and introducing an entrance of almost 2 acres of unique food offerings, entertainment, kids areas, retail, and sponsor activations. Fans can arrive early, stay late, and use the area throughout the game. The outfield pavilions with their memorable folded roofs will be renovated to accommodate standing room and ADA seating and create home run seats with bar stools and drink rails at the outfield walls in an area that is now a void, leaving the outfield wall dimensions unchanged. The classic wood benches from 1962 will remain, along with the iconic roof structure. These renovations will include new restrooms, enclosed bars with views into the bullpen, and flexible spaces with views of the game and the plaza. The Legends of Dodger Baseball program, created in 2019 to highlight players and moments in Dodger history, will have a permanent home in the center field plaza. The batter's eye tarp and broadcast scaffolding will be reconstructed so that area behind the center field wall, currently used to store equipment, can house a kids' play area visible from the upper level seating. Fans will soon be able to enjoy the celebrated view from center field, from above the batter's eye on a platform that will connect to the standing room boardwalk decks at the top of each pavilion behind existing seating. Elevators are currently under construction to help move all fans easily to and from this new center field plaza. Bridges will connect the pavilion standing room decks to Dodger Stadium. Fans will be able to enter any gate and move freely to these new outfield areas. A new sound system will provide an enhanced audio experience to all fans across all levels of the ballpark, with more directed sound inside the ballpark. The Dodgers remain committed to renovations that are in keeping with the mid-century modern architecture that defines their 1962 home. Now, the third oldest park in Major League Baseball, Dodger Stadium is also the largest with 56,000 fans. These renovations do not change the capacity. They're designed to recognize and accommodate changing patterns of use, including the creation of more social areas, more standing room, and an increasingly walkable community around Dodger Stadium, which has changed patterns of entry.
Because we have an awful lot of people, sponsors, that are now looking to get involved and activate in their own unique way in the best interest of their brand, but also in the best interest of fans. So we're looking forward to the next 12 months' progress. We also have one last point, and if you saw that last shot in the video, you might have caught it. We now will have a front gate that we never had before. And today we're able to announce that we're going to have 2 special greeting ambassadors at that gate. The first is a statue of Jackie Robinson that we are relocating from the left field reserve plaza. And on the other side will be the second statue at Dodger Stadium. And today we are announcing that that second statue next year will be one of Sandy Koufax. So when you come to Dodger Stadium, you will literally be greeted by Jackie Robinson and Sandy Koufax. And that's pretty exciting for all of us. So now, let me turn this back over to my allegedly retired friend, Vin Scully, to wrap this up. Vin?
Thank you, Stan. I'm certainly glad that we're wrapping this up. When I was very young, they used to call me Red because I was sunburned so often. And another 15 minutes and I'm back to being called Red again. Thank you very much. I would like to thank our distinguished guests who spoke. It was a pleasure for me, believe me when I tell you, to be back here for a few minutes. It was nice to talk about the past and it's great to talk about the future. But to all these distinguished athletes behind me, remember, tonight is the night, Josephine. And from now on, from this night on, everything you do will be for the World Series. The All-Star game will take care of itself. Thank you so much. Very pleasant. Good afternoon.